Hey there, everybody. It's Alex Barth with another CLNS Patriots Roundtable. We're talking running backs because, if you didn't notice, Patriots lost a good one. Dion Lewis gone to the Titans. That's old news. Let's talk about what they can do to replace him. They got a couple different options in-house. Obviously, Rex Burkhead back, 3-year deal, so that should help. But you get the feeling that they need one more running back in the rotation. You got James White, you got Rex Burkhead, Mike Gillislee for now, but they can save $5 million if they release him. So I would not call him a lock for the roster by any means. And then Brandon Bolden. We'll throw Brandon Bolden in the conversation as well. But you get the feeling the Patriots want to add a running back. How do I know? Well, they're reportedly meeting with Jeremy Hill on Thursday. Talk to the former Bengal about coming to New England. What do we know about Hill? Good all-around back. Not really great at any one thing, but can run between the tackles. He can run to the outside. He's got some speed. He can catch the ball. He's an all-right blocker. There's really no weakness in his game. Versatility. Again, that is what Bill Belichick is looking for when he's going to bring a player in. Hill's kind of on the back end of his career, so he is somebody they could get for an affordable contract. He kind of got pushed to the bottom of the depth chart last year when Joe Mixon came in and started to shine in Cincinnati. So a good fit. I think it's a good fit for Hill. For the Patriots, we'll see, because I think there are some better options for them out there if they're going to look to replace Dion Lewis and possibly Mike Gillislee. And part of the reason I bring Gillislee into this, Mike Gillislee was brought in part to replace LeGarrette Blount, and he didn't do a great job of that last year. He did a good job on the goal line in the first game against Kansas City, but the fumbles kind of caught up to him. And you saw by the end of the year, he was inactive. And they're using Rex Burkhead in those goal line situations. Now, Burkhead did fine, but I think they want him to be a bigger part of the offense. And given how banged up he got in 2017, I don't know if you want him in there with 5, 6, 7 300-pound linemen coming at him. Maybe you want a different goal line back in those situations. So, who's out there? How about an old friend, LeGarrette Blount, supposedly meeting with the Detroit Lions, but we know how much he loves it New England. We know he can shine in that role. I'm not saying he's coming back, but maybe the Patriots take a meeting, kick the tires, see how the year in Philadelphia treated him, because they still have never really replaced him. They struggled so much in the red zone last year, and they missed him in the red zone. I know that this is a divisive subject among New England Patriots fans. Is LeGarrette Blount overrated? Is he overrated? Underrated, overrated, whatever. Was he overrated in overall? Yeah, probably a little bit. But the value he brings in the red zone just makes it worth it. He's so hard to tackle when he gets going down there inside the 10-yard line. We all remember the run against Pittsburgh 2 years ago in the AFC Championship game. I mean, that's what he brings that Burkhead's not going to bring, that Gillislee's not going to bring. They're missing that element. Now, whether it's LeGarrette Blount or another guy, I would love to see them bring in a traditional power back, a traditional goal line back to help with those goal line woes. Especially, look, if Rob Gronkowski's leaving, and that's another story, and we discussed that on another roundtable. You can check that out on the CLNS YouTube page. If Rob Gronkowski leaves, the red zone issues only get magnified. Danny Amendola, too, was a great red zone threat for them. So they need to bring somebody in who's going to help them in the red zone. I think that could be a power back. I don't think in replacing Dion Lewis, I think Dion Lewis is replaced by James White. I think he's going to slide into that role. And then Rex Burkhead slides into the James White role. It's more about that power back that Rex Burkhead had to serve as, even though that's not really who he is in 2017, bringing that guy in. So there's some guys out there in free agency, but I want to talk about two names in the draft because these are two intriguing players. One I've had my eye on for quite a while. Another kind of burst onto the scene late in the college football season. I will say first, and if you watch these roundtables, you know where my college football allegiance aligns. It's a shame Damian Harris didn't come out because he would have been a perfect fit for the Patriots. He really would have been. But a guy in a similar mold, some would say is a better player. I think it's about a draw. That would be Sony Michel, the running back from Georgia, not Nick Chubb. Michel has that Dion Lewis shiftiness to him, it looks like on the tape. He can catch the ball a little bit. So if you were to look at this purely as replacing Dion Lewis, I think Michel's the way to go. Now, do they have a high enough draft pick to get him? Are they willing to invest a high draft pick in him? I don't think so if he's going to go day one or day two. Bill Belichick, ever since Lawrence Maroney, and I don't blame him, really hesitant to pick a running back high. Maroney, that was, I mean, you want to talk about all-time Patriot draft pick bust, but my hatred of Lawrence Maroney is a conversation for another time. If he's there, end of the third round, maybe you take a flyer on him. I think fourth round or later would be a great get for them. Because, again, he can do a little bit of everything. He's got that shiftiness. He's got that quickness. And he played in somewhat of a pro-style system in Georgia, so not too much of an adjustment for him coming into New England. The one other guy I want to bring up, and this is one of my favorite college football players for the last couple of years. This is if you're looking at it in the picture of, okay, James White becomes Dion Lewis, Rex Burkhead becomes James White, Mike Gillislee's gone. Who's the power back? Bo Scarborough. Now, his draft stock is anywhere from the second round to the fifth round. He's kind of all over the place. He's not going to give you much in the receiving game. If you don't have a good offensive line, you probably shouldn't take him. But when Bo Scarborough gets going, oh my God, is he fun to watch. Cuts like Reggie Bush, bowls over people like Lindell White. He's the whole package. Go watch the run against Washington in the 2016 Peach Bowl. You'll know what I'm talking about. And he reminds me so much of LeGarrette Blount. I almost want to say LeGarrette Blount reminds me of him. He is in pure old school, nasty bowling ball power back. And if he gets that initial push at the offensive line, and we've seen the Patriots offensive line actually be pretty good in the run game. Now, Nate Solder leaving obviously might change that, but we've seen them be able to get that initial push at the offensive line. And if you give Bo Scarborough that push, he was as dangerous as anybody in college football over the last 2 years. Now, the numbers weren't great, and that's more of a Nick Saban thing. Saban wasn't a huge fan of his or tried to keep him healthy. He didn't play as much as he should have, and he was competing with Damian Harris as well as a great running back. But if you get to round 4, round 5, and Bo Scarborough's on the board, I think it would be a great, great pick for the New England Patriots because it would do wonders in fixing their red zone game. And if he turns into a good back in between the 20s too, so be it. So, Sony Michel, possible draft pick. Bo Scarborough, possible draft pick. Jeremy Hill in for a visit. A lot going on in the Patriots backfield. We'll see who's behind Tom Brady, but let's just hope that unlike the most recent free agent running back acquisition, they don't poke his thumb out of his hand or whatever happened in that practice before the AFC Championship game. All right, for more of this content, make sure you follow us on Twitter at PatriotsCLNS. Check us out at clnsmedia.com. This roundtable has been brought to you by DraftKings. Go to DraftKings.com and use the promo code CLNS for a discount when you sign up. It's also brought to you by RXBar. Go to rxbar.com/CLNS for 25% off of your order. Hope you guys enjoyed this solo roundtable. Again, I'm Alex Barth. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you next time. This has been Patriots coverage from CLNS.